Business News. Stephen Carroll joins us once again. Stephen, staying with Greece, that first package of tough measures has been passed by the Parliament. How are the markets dealing with this?
We've just got the opening of the European markets in the past few minutes. European shares opening up today, but not by much, it has to be said. Just gains of around 0.5% across the board on the European markets. I can tell you, though, car makers are doing well today. That's after new figures for Europe showing good figures on car registrations here for the month of June. Peugeot Citroën, for example, up 1.6% in Paris. Renault up 1.1%. European banks trading up too. They've been more vulnerable to changes and things happening in Greece, but they're all trading up, some by as much as 1%. Over in Asia, there was some optimism too on the markets as that deal was passed through the Greek parliament. The Nikkei in Tokyo, you can see, up by almost just over 2/3 of 1% there, and just seeing some slight falls on the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. Greece's banks, though, will be back in focus today as the European Central Bank's Governing Council meets in Frankfurt. The ECB has been propping up Greek banks for months now with Emergency Liquidity Assistance, or ELA. Its decision to cap that assistance, or the amount of money they're willing to lend to the banks, led to capital controls being implemented over 2 weeks ago. If it were to remove that life support, it would lead to a collapse of the banking sector. Earlier, we asked Naeem Aslam from Avatrade about what to expect from today's meeting.
Mario Draghi, who has been really happy what he has done with his quantitative easing, is not going to be that pleased when he will face all media, and he's going to be grilled with the Greece agenda. Like, okay, what are you going to... The biggest question is going to be, when are you going to open the banks? Are you going to open these banks, or are you going to withdraw the support with the use of ELA? If there is no ELA, as you said, there will be a collapse, and Greece banks cannot survive without them.
Well, let's take a look next at some of the day's other business headlines. Shares in the online streaming service Netflix jumped by more than 9% in New York and after-hours trading. This as the company announced it had surpassed 65 million subscribers worldwide. That seemed to have been boosted by new series made for Netflix like Daredevil and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And Uber has been fined more than $7 million in California for not giving regulators enough information about its operations. It's been accused of withholding details on things like accidents and requests for accessible cars. Uber's license to operate in California could also be suspended in 30 days unless it files an appeal.
Stephen, let's head to New York next, and the end of an era for one Fifth Avenue landmark.
Yeah, sad day for children and adults alike. The iconic toy store FAO Schwarz closed its doors on New York's Fifth Avenue on Wednesday. Many turned out for their last look at the enormous sweet shop and, of course, the giant piano. Lauren Berstecker has the story.
Generations of children have wandered through its aisles, marveling at the giant stuffed animals and stocking up on unreasonable amounts of candy. FAO Schwarz, the self-proclaimed biggest toy store in the US, definitively closed its Fifth Avenue location in Manhattan on Wednesday night. All afternoon, young and old were queuing up for one last chance to visit the toys and candy mecca, posing for pictures with the doorman and on the iconic big piano.
Well, I came today because this is like a sad day. I mean, to see FAO Schwarz closing, and it's like the end of an era.
It's like a child's dream to come in a store like this. And I'm sorry that it's closing after all of these years.
I'm very sad that it's closing, but I like the store because it has a lot of toys and stuff for kids my age.
The store opened its first New York location in 1862 and has over the years become a city staple. Toys R Us, which has owned FAO Schwarz since 2009, announced it would close the flagship store in May, saying it was unable to keep up with Fifth Avenue's sky-high rents. The company also said it was looking to relocate and is currently searching for a new retail space in Midtown Manhattan. But high rent may not be the only issue. The rise of online retailers has brought in stiff competition, and toy stores are struggling to keep up. In addition to FAO Schwarz, both Toys R Us and Build-A-Bear have recently announced the closing of their Midtown Manhattan locations, as many signs that could spell the end of an era for the toy store wonderland.
Oh, bless, what a sad story.
Sad dog.
Thank you very much anyway, though, Stephen, for bringing us an update on the business news. It's time